All right, so you actually asked a question I was going to ask you about earlier today in Twitch chat, where why are there so many Twitter bots that pretend to be girls? Man, I woke up this morning to 18 notifications, all from like fucking Sexy Lacey and like other
Yeah, me
shitty bots.
too.
Like,
No, they were all named Sexy Blank.
yeah,
And I was like, what? What the fuck?
like I get that there's bots, but it's also like I don't know, just why are we getting plagued by them? I feel.
Well, I think apparently Fear Dragon is too. So either someone's like trying to bomb us, because we had this happen before. Like someone like bombed us with like 2,000, and that was terrible. Like the notifications were so bad.
Yeah, but I didn't wake up with like 2,000 new followers. I still have like the same amount of followers I did when I went to
Exactly.
bed. Like,
So it's like a smaller trickle or something. But I'm really
someone
disappointed.
bought us like 5 followers. They're like, yeah.
But like per day or something. Anyways, I'm really disappointed because I like looking at like what they are, like an actual person. You know, like oh, apparently they're an artist. Cool. I might talk to that chick later. Nope. They're
I've
all
just
fake.
come to this point where if they've got SC2 in their profile, or if someone I know is following them, then I know they're legit.
Right? Yeah. Some girl just followed me. I think she's actually legit. I just looked at her Twitter, like her tweets, but those other ones, they're all just like retweets of like different languages.
Oh, I know.
173 days ago.
At any rate, folks, welcome back to the IEM Shanghai Qualifiers. This is day 1 of a 2-day qualifying tournament. In the bottom left side, we do have the red Darren player, uThermal, aka the worst Winston in Overwatch. Or, I mean, uThermal. Sorry. Got that. Awkward.
In the top right, as the blue Protoss, it is ShaDoWn. ShaDoWn.
Playing 4, and here's my attempt at it. Nuit Blanche.
Nuit Blanche. Yep, nailed it. We nailed it.
Alright, so uThermal is a very strange Terran when it comes to casting StarCraft 2. I would say where most Terrans kind of struggle, he seems to excel, but where everyone else is excelling, he seems to struggle. I'm not going to phrase it like that because he constantly bounces back and forth between aggression or macro being his issues. But I will say consistently, and this is what makes me always excited to watch uThermal, is he has without a doubt in my mind been one of the best foreign players when it comes to control. Like, you've got Bunny with results, you've got other Terran players who probably win more actual tournaments than uThermal, but damn if I will never say that I think uThermal has like some of the best control when it comes to Terrans in Europe. Just period.
Agreed. Yeah. When it comes to his bad matchups, in Heart of the Swarm, it was certainly versus Zerg. In Legacy of the Void, it is kind of flip-flopped from one to the other. His TvP's like always been pretty decent. It seems to be this that his pacing of the game is always off. He always zigs when he should zag and that type of deal. Or, I guess that's in the way of Zerg, he seems to get compositions a little, I don't know, mixed up.
It's funny because, yeah, Zerg's definitely a lot better for him now than it was in Heart of the Swarm, but I was even talking with Snoot at DreamHack Austin, and one of the discussions came up was about uThermal and how Snoot hates playing him because he gets really aggressive and stuff like that. I mean, again, that's like one of the best Zergs in Europe saying he doesn't like playing against this guy. So he could lose this series, and I'm still going to think highly of him as long as we don't see something stupid really happen. But pretty regular opening going for this Widowmine drop. I mean, I like it because, A, no offense to BCQD, openings like this prevent what happened last game from happening. But secondly, so does the map. But thirdly, and most importantly, this gives that scout. Like, maybe the Widowmines hit, great. Maybe they don't, that sucks. But you're almost always going to get a scout when it comes to this drop.
Yeah. Yeah, I also like that he SCP scouted. Which is another thing, right? So he saw that the Nexus was down. He didn't have to worry about any early game aggression, so he knew he could also afford to do this, which is going to provide that secondary scout. See the fast third Nexus, which is not surprising, but always nice to scout, and maybe see the tech put down. We'll see if he actually like sends the medevac through the main base to see that Twilight Council, which again is to be expected, but love to confirm. Widowmines are going to do some damage here, as the soccer count just wasn't high enough to really force uThermal to look elsewhere, basically. The Observer's on its way, so that Widowmine should not get a second hit.
So 2 interesting things following this up. One, he doesn't actually get a scout to the main just yet, so he doesn't really know this chrono on Twilight Council, whatever. But seeing the third base, I think, is information enough. Does get both the Widowmines out alive, but he's going for a Raven behind this, which I find really interesting. First off, there's the not scan required to kill an Observer, which is nice. But secondly, we've been seeing people try to integrate Ravens more into the Terran composition, and whether it's point defense drones to stop stalkers or auto turrets for damage, I don't think it's a terrible unit, but it is one that is very costly to make this early.
It is. We've talked about this. We talked about it yesterday, right? Someone was going for a Raven in their series versus Protoss. And it ended up working out fairly well. The Raven is not bad. It's just hard to control and hard to pair up with what is usually bio strengths. So basically stimming and running away or dropping.
Yeah.
But it can pair up well with them. Like if you do control it correctly, you can put down point defense drones and actually allow you to do like a doom drop. That's always a cool maneuver to do. Auto turrets can be really surprisingly effective at both defending and attacking. It just is something that can be like easily sniped down. And obviously very expensive and delays your gas a little bit, so your medevacs. This should be enough with that said Raven, just as well as a lot of Marines.
Yeah, there's two trains of thoughts on this too, which I think are really interesting. The point defense drone, obviously, if it goes down, will soak about a volley or two of stalkers. It doesn't have a lot of energy, and it doesn't last very long, so it's not that great. The auto turrets last for very little time as well, but they do an immense amount of damage during their time, so they kind of have to be focused down, or they'll do too much damage. Like, 2 auto turrets versus a point defense drone both kind of serve the same role.
Mm-hmm. Well, this Blink Stalker aggression is not doing very much at all, so that's a little unfortunate.
5 extra gateways coming down, this may ramp up its volatility soon.
Yeah, well, hopefully. That should be for Adepts as uThermal with Stim finishing up, combat shield's already done, and of course his upgrade as well. He actually has a very scary army, again, coupled with whatever the Raven is going to throw down, and just Blink Stalkers are never really enough versus bio. So he has a Guardian Shield. He started, I guess he has 1 Adept in his army, but of course Photon Overcharge, also going to be a big deal. Mothership Core is still in the main, however. Oh, there's the Warping of Adepts.
The point defense drone also soaks up some of their hits. Auto turret, there we go, doing some damage and also focusing some of those shots, but uThermal just kind of stimming on top. Just that +1's finished for this.
Mothership Core,
just destroying
please.
Everything. Mothership Core's way too late to the party. These pylons can get overcharged, but you just walk away from them.
He probably underestimated the power of the Raven included in that.
Oh, absolutely he did. No doubt in my mind he did. Like, the fact that it soaks up so many adept shots is just great. On top of the fact that it soaks up the stalker shots, even better. There's an overcharge over here ready to go, but it's going to get killed if the pylon goes down, but this looks like this will be the end of the attack. I will say, though, uThermal did such a good trade with this attack, denying some upgrade time here as the pylon depowers the forges. This was a really good attack out of him.
Yeah, it definitely was, and that is a lot to do with just ShaDoWn under-preparing. He thought he had a perfect amount of units for what is a usual bio push, but the Raven added a lot in that. I actually don't think the Mothership Core being out of position was a mistake for a push without a Raven, but it definitely is with a Raven.
It was a mistake for what had happened, yeah, but he left it in the main because I think he really thought there was going to be a drop following that up. Like 1 drop in the main, well, there's a push through the natural, third, etc. But Raven stayed alive up here, so it's going to drop an auto turret, and this is something you have to pull away from. It doesn't last very long. It lasts literally 7 seconds, but it does so much damage in 7 seconds.
Without a Stargate, it can just stay in the top right too and just continue doing that. That's going to be very annoying for Protoss to deal with. Wouldn't mind help out a little bit, get a Stalker and a couple of probes, but it is going to have to be picked up and leave. So this is where
the observers are off in the middle of nowhere.
I guess he doesn't. So he's building a cannon. Hopefully, not too much dies to the, because I think at least one of the, both of them should refresh.
I really like the cannon though. Either way, that's going to be a deterrent to future drops as well. ShaDoWn finishes up his Templar Archives, goes right into Storm. Chrono boost that right away.
Oh, the observer almost came here in time. It dies.
The splash damage is real. He's going to unload the Marines, realize there's not a lot here to defend. The cannon's finishing up right now as we speak. Probably going to have to just pull away from this, though.
Yeah. Okay, so that was kind of clever maneuvering. Once again, the Raven goes back into the natural as well, so really good harassment here from uThermal. But I was going to bring up that the fact that ShaDoWn got, the 4th base so early is really making up for a lot of his mistakes in defending the aggression. So I would really like to see a push like this, exactly what uThermal's doing, trying to deny that 4th base. But that's where the army has been, and it's a pretty big one. Yeah, uThermal's not going to be able to win through this.
Woodwine's got some pretty nice hits, though. Even then, it's not going to be enough, you're right. But he does continue to leave, Wait, how is that Woodwine not being killed?
There you go.
Okay, that's awkward. Raven wants to go back for round 2. uThermal may have overextended himself right now. Collecting himself, getting a Ghost for 2 out might be the better option. He is focusing heavily into Liberators, though, and with about 6 in play, plus that range upgrade, it's not going to be a bad thing. But his bio's got to be careful. There's going to be quite a few storms.
That is true. I'm looking at the upgrades right now, though, and that's a bit of a problem. Once again, having to put away his probes. So he just stopped producing upgrades. I thought maybe it was because he didn't put down his pylon on his forges again, but no, he's either forgotten them or he's intentionally trying not to get them, but he's banking quite a lot, so I'm not sure about that.
Yeah,
but
they finished this one line.
yeah, that actually could be really bad if, uThermal's about to have 2-2. Is these Liberators to help out as well? He's dodging the storms, so his control should look really good. Yeah, the storms really aren't doing that much too, because it is mostly Marauders.
Yeah, I like that he segmented some of his units back. They looked like they were just being miscontrolled, but he intentionally did not want them getting stormed. Great slam on that base. uThermal absolutely knocks that out of the park. And of course, the best part is he kept all those Liberators alive. So if you're a Terran fan right now, you're probably feeling pretty good. If you're Protoss, you're getting frustrated looking at this composition. But I think for ShaDoWn, what I do worry about is there's really not that many Blink Stalkers. There's no Tempests. Like, how do you deal with said Liberators?
You don't.
You just right now you
Unfortunately,
ShaDoWn. Yeah, exactly.
clever. Once again, the Raven comes in. I thought maybe it was going to have a point defense drone, but doesn't really need it. The medevacs still get fully unloaded, despite, I guess, ShaDoWn like kind of seeing it coming.
That pylon getting picked off once again. Also cancel some of the warpins that were coming to help defend against this. He trains in a really good spot. Fight in the middle of the map goes down. Liberators kill everything. Oh my god. GG. uThermal. uThermy. It's going to take game number 1.
All right.
All right, well, we're going to go to a small break while we get to game number 2, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys in 2 minutes. All right, welcome back to the IEM Shanghai Qualifiers. You're watching BaseTradeTV with Rifkin and Zombie Grub. Spawning in the top left side of Frozen Temple. Going for a very early SCV, but it's not for scouting. I don't think it's going to be uThermal.
In the bottom right, as the red Protoss, it is ShaDoWn. That's what we included. Yeah. Anywho. Proxy Reaper. Yay! Should end the game, but you could do a lot of damage.
I was going to say, versus Protoss, this is not a very strong build. If this was like 2 or 3 SCVs coming out too, that's when we start bringing up like uThermal, like fun facts, right? But it is just the one. It's just a proxy barracks, and I'm actually wondering if there's going to be emphasis into either sky or ground mech after this. As if the barracks is out of place, it's not that big of a deal normally, but because it's out of place, there's not going to be Marines at home to stop a Mothership Core or an Oracle or anything like that.
That is the trick, but I don't think this is going to lead into any type of mech. But you're right, it is tricky. Like the other response. Well, of course you wish it would be, but it's not. The response can either be like, okay, try not to take any damage, wait for your units to pop out, and then deal with it like you usually would. We can also just try and send like the Adept across the map and do even more damage on the Reaper. It is risky though, because as you can see, uThermal, like, he just has to prep for that basically by making a wall, not making a CC right after this and being super greedy about it. So if you see the wall, then you probably shouldn't try that.
Alright, so there's actually going to be a bit of time here where the Mothership Core won't be up and the Adept hasn't been made just yet. So this Reaper will be able to screw with mining and maybe get even 4 probe kills.
Yeah, I think 4 is a pretty damn good number for a proxy Reaper. We have seen it really spiral out of control if this is done incorrectly. Like so, like taking a big old grenade shot to the face like that.
Almost surrounds himself though with that grenade.
Yeah, that was close. Yeah. Okay, so 3. He's probably gonna get 1 more, especially with the help of the second Reaper. The Mothership can only hell out so much, especially if he keeps away from the pylons. But then the Adept will pop out, and that will end the aggression of the Reapers. The Wombo combo. Oh, yeah. Oh, awkward. I didn't realize he was proxying the starport as well, and the probe sees it.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is awkward. These Reapers actually have to keep alive now to distract that Adept and keep her from picking off the SCV building things.
Oh, jeez.
That high ground shuffle.
Oh, that Adept. Yeah, that Adept did not. This is going to be a lot more damage now. 2 grenades to be thrown down. Okay, he dodges that, actually. Did you hear that? Okay,
sorry.
I just hope you don't hear it. You haven't heard it.
I don't
okay, so
sorry.
Good. The Reapers, they die, but they did enough damage to really warrant dying, and they bought enough time.
Proxy Liberator.
Ooh.
Okay, so the Cyclone is one thing as well. That's going to run across the map. It's also going to be like defending at home, blah blah blah. Okay, that is loud as fuck. But what's really interesting is there's no pylon in the southern position for this, and there's no stalker or anything. The Stargate's late. Like, this Liberator should get more kills on top of the. How many probes did he kill already? 8. He killed 8 probes with those Reapers. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good. So, any more damage beyond that, and he is certainly making up for the lack of command center. Because that's at this point, that's really what the problem is for uThermal. Is he's being very aggressive. He really delayed the command center, and ShaDoWn can actually catch up given the right responses to any further aggression like this Liberator.
Even just denying mining off the natural base is huge damage for poor ShaDoWn.
Yeah.
I mean, uThermal, like I said, guys, he plays aggressive. He gets in your face, and he's definitely a frustrating player to have to play against.
ShaDoWn built pylons in preparation for dealing with the Reapers, which they did not do a very good job of dealing with, not for preparation of the Liberator. So there's no pylons behind the mineral lines.
He did go for a Stargate very quickly, though, so it's not like he'll be totally screwed for this, but this is still not a good position for him. He's losing a lot of mining right now, not mining in like 4 of these patches. That second Liberator is going to come out and shut down the natural base as well.
And one Phoenix is still going to take some time to clear up the Liberators. So a lot more damage is going to be done directly, as you see the probes aren't pulled immediately, as well as indirectly by just lack of mining. And this is certainly giving uThermal a lead as he gets closer to the probe count of ShaDoWn. He's getting his command center on location finally. It's looking very good for uThermal.
Well, this finally does get cleaned up, and the starport taking the... No, never mind. I thought the long way home, he's just repositioning it to put it in proximity of another base. And this one's still going to be a reactor, so this is where I don't like this. If at any point uThermal has to worry about defending, he's going to be missing a significant portion of his units coming from that starport. There's not going to be medevacs popping out of home just in time, no Liberators for defense. It is going to be everything across the map. But at the same time, I don't think he's going to have to worry about defending anytime soon, because right now the damage he's done has kept ShaDoWn at home. It's limited what he's been able to produce.
Yeah. It's also kept him off that third base maybe a little bit longer than he wanted, just because he couldn't get the minerals for it. But now throwing it down, ShaDoWn's looking a little bit better. It really would have been nice to have that already almost finished and being able to transfer the probes to it. Oh, that was neat. Otherwise, that Phoenix would have died. Okay, so this push looks very odd, but it will have stim and combat shields, and the medevacs are producing from about halfway, so they'll also have medevacs. It's just it's a very small push, but for a very small defense.
I like the Cyclone quite a bit. Not a lot of units in play. A Cyclone will 1v1 pretty much every unit in the game.
Yeah, it can help out. It can probably lock on to the Mothership Core if ShaDoWn isn't very careful with this. Here comes the medevacs, and only 1 puts it overcharge might not be enough. Oh, well, maybe 2. Yeah, the second time's gonna finish.
I like that pickup. It's a bit awkward, but it worked.
Just go to the third base. Not to even really break this. Oh, get the probe. Lame. Oh, tricky Terran. Well, that's one way to avoid all the pylons.
Yeah.
And thus win the game, probably.
I mean, to the extent the Immortals really the last line of defense, probes getting pulled into it, that army just not being touched thanks to those medevacs. Mothership Core dies with a lot of energy. Pylons now useless.
Yep. And this definitely is game. Stalkers cannot hold up against this.
What a weird proxy to do. I mean, that was impressive that the first Reapers did that much damage, but the Liberators certainly got away with quite a bit afterwards, so congratulations to uThermal, who will advance on in the brackets and continue fighting for the IEM Shanghai spots. Now, we're in a bit of an interesting spot. We could follow uThermal and wait, but he doesn't really have... I don't know who Mamba or Freeman is. I don't think they're going to be crazy. But I think if we wait on Cyril's match, that'll be quite good. Because Cyril fights against Welmu or Origine, but I don't know Origine, so I'm hoping and assuming Welmu wins that. That'll be a qualifying round. Alternatively, on the southern side of the bracket, we may eventually have Gung Fu Banda versus Guru as well. I thought that's Partoof in the bracket. That's Patotu.
Right? I kind of do a double take
yeah. Well, either way, we'll have to wait around a few minutes to find out what we're doing at any rate, as nobody really has opponents ready to go right now. So we are just going to hop off to a break, guys. And we'll be back in 2 minutes and hopefully discuss what's up next. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you're enjoying the IEM qualifier so far, and we'll be back soon.